Welcome into the broadcast booth here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. My name's Steele, and I'll be captaining the ship going through your ear ocean all evening long. An off-season that took quite a while for the Capitals, one longer than they probably would have liked here, as the Capitals were eliminated on the last regular season game of the season. Means a lot of turnover, including the head coach position, as Andy Brandt makes his head coaching debut, at least exhibition head coaching debut, here this evening for Madison. Coming up in pregame, we'll run you through the starting lineups, your scratches, and your lineup as a whole. We'll go through the starting goaltending matchup, as well as talk to a couple of new faces here in Madison, as it's all coming up and leading up to puck drop starting at 7:05 here this evening at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. Thanks so much for joining us, as it's going to be quite the season ahead here for Madison, as things looking up for sure this offseason for Madison. You look around up and down the lineup, a lot of turnover, and it all started just 2 weeks after the season came to an end last year, as the Phase 2 draft made a lot of impressions on this training camp roster that had a lot of turnover from last season as well. You look at last season's preseason roster to this season's preseason roster, only 7 players made both of those rosters. 8 players for Madison from last season back here today as the Capitals take on the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. The Rough Riders, the visitor in this one. We appreciate any Cedar Rapids faithful joining in today. They went 23-4-5 last season under 24th year head coach Mark Carlson, who enters his 25th season in his campaign here this evening. Obviously, not the official start of the regular season, but hockey is back, and we're glad to have you. We'll take a quick break, and we come back, we'll have your starting lineup. It's Capitals Hockey live here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Slam it home. Steele scores! Caps fans, season tickets are on sale now. Be a part of the action for all 30 Madison Capitals games by visiting madcapshockey.com and going under the season tickets tab on the website. That's madcapshockey.com under season tickets. We want to be a part of the action. If you can't make it to all 30 games, we'd love to have you out. We are currently having a special on our Flex Packs. Flex Packs, 10 games. It's not complete 10 games, it's 10 tickets, I should say. What you get with those 10 tickets, you have the flexibility to use them any way you want. You can come with a partner for 5 games. You can come to 10 games by yourself. You can come to 1 game with 10 people. Our Flex Packs are the most flexible and affordable way to come enjoy the Madison Capitals games. And currently, with that special right now, with the purchase of a Flex Pack, you'll get 4 tickets to a game in September or October, and you look towards the next month. Obviously, you get a couple of games, 4 games, including the home opener, and I can leak a little information for you. $2 beer nights, not $4 beer nights, $2 beer nights in that mix for the Capitals. So you want to be a part of the action. Flex Packs are your plan. You go with 2 Flex Packs. You buy 2 Flex Packs. It's quite the deal. You get a free Flex Pack with it as well. So be sure to get your Flex Packs today by calling the front office, 608-257-2277, or by visiting the Capitals website. Again, it's right under that season tickets tab. Your group want to come out to a Caps game and enjoy in luxury? Our suites are on sale now. Join the team here today. It's the same way. MadCapsHockey.com, but under premium seating on the ticketing tab. give the front office a call. If you would rather talk over the phone, the front office staff, including myself, would love to chat and get you in for a suite. Again, that's Capital Suites, Capital's season tickets, that's the MC84 memberships, and our flex plans that are on sale now. Buy one, get 4 tickets to a September or October game. Buy 2 and get a free flex pack with it. It's Caps right here on Mad Caps Hockey Radio. It's time to get into pregame a bit more, though, as the Capitals set to take off against Cedar Rapids. Quite the offseason it was for the Capitals as we're back here on Mad Caps Radio on YouTube. Quite the offseason, and it started with that Phase 2 draft I mentioned. 7 players from that Phase 2 draft here in training camp as well. We'll run through them quickly here for you. It's Nathan Toby, who was selected 14th overall, all the way to Aiden Long at 139 overall. Toby will be in the lineup tonight. Carson Musser will be in the lineup tonight as well at 17 overall. Bernovic at 23. It goes all the way to Rice, Henry, and Mackey in round 6 through 8 as well. So it's quite the setup for the Capitals, but it wasn't just the draft that makes this roster for Madison. You look at some trades as well. Chris Delaney comes over as part of that future considerations of the Quinn Finley deal that sent Finley to Chicago. Finley, of course, here in Madison, but donning the Badger sweater here this fall. Chris Delaney from Chicago joins former teammate Jack Brandt as well. They'll both be in the lineup down the left side tonight on different lines, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Jake Rossi comes in. He was a draft day acquisition for Madison. He was future considerations, but was part of that package that sent the number 1 overall pick in Phase 2 to Youngstown. And Gavin Uhlenkamp, another future considerations player. So the Capitals set themselves up well last season to make a run here this year, and that's what the team is really looking to do. Speaking of the team, we'll go through the starting lineup now. You look down the lineup for Madison. We'll be starting the top line. It's Finn Brink, the Wisconsin native, played as an affiliate last season for Madison. Moves over to Andrew Kuzma down the middle. Kuzma joined the team mid-season last year for the Capitals. And Jake Rossi, as I mentioned prior. On the back end, it's Ethan Elias on the right side, joined by Harper Fry, a 3rd-round pick in Phase 1 for Madison here this past season. Really stood out in camp. Head coach and general manager Andy Brandt talked glowingly about Fry's camp so far. And he earns himself a start here in the arena that he's played for his entire youth career. A Caps AAA player making his spot on the lineup here today as the extra defenseman, but in the starting lineup tonight for the Caps. Behind everybody there and in the net for the Capitals is Carson Musser, the Colorado College commit and Arizona draft pick. Comes in after playing last season with the National Team Development Program, selected, again, 17th overall in that Phase 2 draft that brought the Caps so many assets. Musser, in his USHL career, 6 wins, 8 losses, 4 overtime losses, .863 save percentage in his time in the USHL. But something that the Capitals really looked towards in the draft process was his numbers against Division I opponents. The skill is there for Carson Musser, as that skill is in front of him as well. That National Team Development U18 team locked down a lot of those Division I opponents last season. And that's exactly what the Capitals are hoping to do to the USHL foes. On the other side, it's the 4th line, but I think on paper, you have to look at this as one of the top lines for Cedar Rapids. Philip Lalonde, Cade Littler, and Jack Silverberg on the front side. On the back end was the second pair of Elliot Gronwald and Emmanuel Charbonneau. And in between the pipes is Detroit draft pick Rudy Guimond. Of course, Guimond joins the team for Cedar Rapids after being selected in Phase 2 last offseason for Cedar Rapids. Hasn't played in a USHL game, but he will here tonight. All leading up to puck drop. We'll have the scratches for you coming up after this. It's Capitals Hockey live here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Slam it home. Steele scores! It's Capitals Hockey live here on the Caps YouTube page, Caps Radio. Thanks for joining us here this evening. 4 minutes, 25 seconds away from puck drop. We'll run through the lineup quickly before we get to the national anthem here in the building. For Cedar Rapids, it's Paisley, Brennan, Fitzgerald across the top line, Johnson, Sutton, Smith across the second. Lee, Welch, and Mikan across the third line. Lalonde, Littler, and Silverberg on the fourth. The extra forward is Oliver Genest. On the back end, it's Joe Schiller and Zach Sharp on the first pair. Elliot Groenwald and Emmanuelson Charbonneau on the second pair. Garen Slezak and Arsenine Marchenko on pair number 3, and Dominic Elliott is the extra defenseman. In net for the Capitals, or for Cedar Rapids, is Rudy Guimond. Guimond, a Detroit Red Wings draft pick. Brink Kuzma and Rozzi across the top. They'll start for the Capitals here this evening. Delaney, Rollers, and Bernovic on line 2. Brandt, Hong, and Nagel on line 3. Long, Rice, and Lamb on line 4. Felicio and Elias will be on the first pair of defense. Michoud, Henry on pair 2. Jameson on pair 3 with Toby. Harper Fry is the extra defenseman. Carson Musser in net. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Capitals Hockey. Slam it home. Steele scores! Here from Bob Sooners Capital Ice Arena, the home opener for Madison here in exhibition play as they take on the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. The Rough Riders will move left to right across your radio dial here on YouTube. They'll wear the black tops, green jerseys, as well as the black pants and green socks, all trimmed with white and black for Cedar Rapids. Capitals move right to left, navy helmet, white jersey, navy pant, and white sock, all trimmed with navy and Columbia. Referees for tonight's game, Chaz Canacci, linesmen Gerard Laminou and Aaron McCrary in the capital city of Madison. Hockey is underway. Face-off one back to Harper Fry. He sends it down in deep. Guimond will hold for Cedar Rapids and play it up that far side before they reverse back the near. Cedar Rapids breaks the zone as Cedar Rapids last season in the preseason split with the Capitals, but would take this regular season series by a 4-2 margin. 2-2 in the last two for Madison, or 2-2 in the last two series, I should say, were the Caps against the Rough Riders. Shot up that far side wall allows Rozzi to break out. Rozzi, one of the new Caps, alongside Kuzma behind him. Tries to get to the near side for Brink. Just a bit too far in front of him. Puck sat there for a moment. Brink ties a player up, but Cedar Rapids will be able to break up that far side wall. Skating there is Marchenko. He'll send it down in deep. Caps pick up there as Jack Henry spins off a check there from the Rough Riders. Up the far side wall to the near now. Kuzma looked like he was going for a change, but instead he'll have to touch up. They send it all the way down as Austin Bernovic chases after it for Madison. Bernovic on that far side, as advertised, is what head coach Andy Brandt told me, as a shot from the point goes wide. That one coming off the stick that time of Rainer's Rollers. Rollers, in addition in July to this team for Madison, standing at 6'4". He's the tallest body out on the ice tonight. James Mackey will have that title, and he's out there for Madison, also on the preseason roster, coming in at 6'6", as Elias gloves that one down. Last season's alternate captain passes it back to Felicio, touching the ice for the first time tonight. Felicio at the red line. He'll send it down in deep to the far side. One change is Chris Delaney as Jack Brandt comes off the bench. They switch spots for each other there, but they were switching spots together as Brandt switched mid-season, I should say, as Delaney comes over in the offseason, both from Chicago and both part of the same deal as the Capitals start up ice up the near side. James Hong ahead for Brandt. On the far side, he has a player as well. A nice save by Guimond, stopping Max Nagel on that far side. Nagel on the bottom of the far side circle, a shot shouldered away by Guimond. Capitals establish some offensive zone time. Brandt skates around the zone, far side, backhand shot, rebound, sits there for a moment. Scrambling for it is Guimond, but it escapes to the corner where Max Nagel takes over. Nagel, far side wall to Hong. Hong down low looking for Nagel again, just on different pages there, as Cedar Rapids is going to have a chance to break the zone. Sure enough, they will. 17:27 to go, period number one. Scoreless between these two sides. Is a nice play by James Hong to deflect the puck up and out of play. Dominic Elliott trying to just force it up that far side wall. Hong deflects it up into the rafters. We get a whistle at 17:23, period number one. 0-0 our score. Again, I'm Drew Steele. Thanks for joining us here on Caps Radio on YouTube. I'll be captaining the ship going through your ocean all season long for the Caps. Rice with a shot on the far side. Deflects out into the slot, but it's Cedar Rapids coming forward the other way. Up the near side wall, Aiden Long unable to corral it as Charbonneau sends it down in deep. The Nebraska-Omaha commit sends it into the far side corner as Long comes and picks up. No call will come as Long tripped up by the skate of a Rough Rider player. Up the near side comes Brendan Lamb. He's wearing number 18 tonight. He will wear number 22 in season as he sends it all the way down, icing on the Caps. 16:49 to go, period number one. 0-0 our score as the faceoff will come inside the defensive zone for the Capitals. To the left of Carson Musser. We talked in pregame a little bit about Musser, Colorado College commit, draft pick this summer of the Arizona Coyotes, 6th round pick, 166 overall. I think he'll remember that number forever, 166, as Guimond on the other end just taken 3 picks later by Detroit. On the near side, Cedar Rapids has possession in the offensive zone. They cycle it down into the corner. On possession there is Littler. Littler down in the near side for Silverberg. Silverberg up to the point for Sharp. Sharp acquired in a trade last season from Sioux Falls. Is Rossi trying to play the boards, that time on a chip out from Kuzma. Unsuccessful, but they are successful on keeping the Rough Riders on the ice. As icing on the Rough Riders sends it all the way into the offensive zone. Caps will throw out their first line alongside Fry and Henry on the back end. Face-off to the right of Guimond, who hunches over for the face-off. But hold him up, boys. It's one back. Henry kind of loses his balance there, but gets it out of midair. High stick if the Caps would have touched it first. It was a nice recovery. Just kind of lost his balance as the puck was coming his way. Kuzma into the offensive zone, has Rossi and Brink with him. It deflects off of a Cedar Rapids skate and into the corner. Rossi corrals. Around the boards it comes, near side. Cedar Rapids will try to break. Harper Fry will try to hold. Unsuccessful in doing so as it comes all the way back inside the defensive zone. Lalonde forechecks Jack Henry, but Kuzma will come back and get his defenseman as Henry left it there for him. Kuzma leaves there for Fry. Fry to the far side, now for Henry. Henry picks up his eyes and realizes he has some real estate in front of him and comes to the near side looking for Kuzma. Kicks it a little bit offside. The Caps are, though, as 4 minutes and 30 seconds into period number 1. Still scoreless in this one. Capitals with, I would say, the slight edge in offensive attempts thus far. Again, last season, these two teams met up 6 times. Cedar Rapids took 4 of those 6. 2-2 in the last 4 games, which was under interim head coaches at the time of head coach Tom Gilbert and assistant coach Dominic Zombo at the time. But now both assistant coaches full-time on this Caps squad. As the Caps go up that far side, there'll be icing on the Caps when it gets there. Bernovic and Elias don't like the call. Face-off will come all the way back inside the defensive zone here in a moment. 15:07 to go, period number 1. Face-off will be to the far side of Musser, still donning those stars and stripes pads that he wore the U18 World Junior Championships, where the U.S. brought home gold. Face-off won back that time by Rullers. Gets it back to Michoud. Michoud will drop back to his defensive partner in Elias, who has some pressure on him right away, that time from Drew Sutton. Sutton with the Oklahoma Warriors in the NAHL last season as Bernovic comes through center ice. Gets it to the far side for Delaney. Delaney up that far side wall for Bernovic, who chips it along, but it's Sutton there to clean things up for Cedar Rapids and just kind of slow things down as the Capitals still put some forecheck on. A nice play by Elias. Elias leaves there for Delaney as the Caps try to recover. It'll be Dominic Elliott with the speed to the near side wall, and getting things out is Connor Smith for the Rough Riders. Just over 5 minutes into period number 1 as Cedar Rapids settles things down inside the offensive zone. Pressure put on him on that far side. Smith still with possession. Gets it down to the corner now for Johnson. Johnson turns it over. Bernovic there for the Caps as he'll start up ice. He'll drop there for Elias, and it looks like Bernovic will go for a change as the third line hops onto the ice. That third line tonight, I mentioned before, Brandt, Hong, and Nagel. 2 of the 3 played with the Caps last season, as it's Hong, the one that didn't bring it into the offensive zone. Hong with a shot off the right shoulder. That time Guimond sat there for a moment. Hong in the corner, trying to chip it down low. Instead gets it up top for Felicio. Felicio throws on the brakes, looks for a deflection. It sits there. Guimond has it somehow, some way. 6:15 into period number 1. The Capitals with the best chance of the game thus far. A quick little 2-on-1 from Brandt and Hong. Nothing comes from it but a quick shot on from the point in an offensive zone draw to follow. Face-off is won by Cedar Rapids. They want it to the near side wall. They take it out of the zone, but Felicio does a nice job to hold the Caps half of the ice. Getting it down in deep. A nice hit there, I believe, from Jack Brandt as the puck goes back inside the defensive zone. Felicio forward now. Hong in on a break shot. That time sticked away up and over the glass for a whistle. James Hong generating some offense with his third unit that time. Felicio with the eyes, seeing him go ahead. Nice shift there for the third line here in preseason. Just shift number 3 or 4 on the day for the third line. But Brandt, Hong, and Nagel back in their offensive ways. Face-off one back. Felicio tries to hold. Instead, it's Silverberg for Cedar Rapids into the offensive zone. A shot goes wide. Felicio tries to chip it up that far side wall. Instead, it's settled down there by Lalonde. Lalonde towards the net, comes wide as Long plays it on the near side half wall. He's sent up into the wall as the Caps try to clear the zone here. They're unsuccessful in doing so. Charbonneau down low into the corner, wraps around for Lalonde, tries to send it out front as Aiden Long will slow things down. Felicio moves things forward as Sam Rice will bring it into the offensive zone. Drops back that time, had Lamb behind him, just unsuccessful on the connection there. But a nice job by the Caps forwards to kind of force things the other way. It could be icing, but Musser will play it for Madison. Back for the Caps as Jamison had a good stint with the Caps at the end of the season last year. 14 games as Brink brings into the offensive zone. Finn Brink, backhand shot, blocker sits there for Kuzma. Unable to slam it home as it's picked up by Paisley. Will just try to slow down this Caps attack. The Capitals want to play with pace. They sure did there, as it looked like it was going to be a slow little rush as a play just goes wide. Harper Fry gets in the mix a little bit with a player there for Cedar Rapids. Oliver Genest took a little extra hack at Musser there. Covered up for a whistle. Still scrumming behind the net are the two teams. 12:13 to go, period number 1. 0-0 our score. Thanks for joining us here on the inaugural YouTube broadcast of the season. We're trying to roll these out for every home game that we have. Of course, you can find video feeds on Flow Hockey as well, just not for the preseason games here today. Far side, Cedar Rapids wins it back, sends it all the way down as the faceoff was outside the zone. That scuffle being a little bit on them. Defenseman came down. That'll get it out of the zone every single time. Paisley into the offensive zone. Just tried to chip it down in deep, but instead Jamison there for the Caps. Tries to force it up the near side wall. Fry unable to hold on for a moment as it goes out towards middle ice that time. And offside are the Rough Riders as we'll get immediate timeout. We'll take one with them. It's 0-0 between Cedar Rapids and Madison right here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Back here, Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena, the host of the first preseason game for both of these squads. Cedar Rapids and Madison matching up as the face-off just outside the Capitals' defensive end, won back by the Rough Riders, but it's turned back the other way. Smith, far side, now a shot. Just patted away that time by Musser as it's sent up the far side wall. Bernovic takes a hack at it, but it goes the way of the Rough Riders. The Capitals will start their rush up ice as instead, it's Jack Henry spinning off of a forechecker there for the Rough Riders. Nice play by Henry as now Delaney on the far side now for Rullers. Rullers looking for options down low for Bernovic. Bernovic back up to Rullers on the far side. Half wall, but it's tied up along the way. Rullers with a chance now. Just loses an edge on it, and it's trapped beneath the blocker that time of Guimond. Faced off in the offensive zone to come. Nice job to get the puck moving up ice. All started on the back end with Henry threading the needle between a Cedar Rapids player to get it to Delaney on the near side. Rullers on the far side just hadn't been able to get his stick in the right spot as the face-off on the far side in the offensive zone, won back by Hong. At the blue line, it's Elias. Down low, Brandt in the corner has it. Brandt tripped up there. Nagel on the near side will come and join him and get possession for Madison. A nice job by the defensive Cedar Rapids as it's Charbonneau. As Brandt sends a player into the wall, Felicio gets possession at neutral ice. Cedar Rapids was able to clear, and now they're able to get possession in the offensive zone. Aiden Welch intercepted. Jack Brandt will have a chance. Brandt on a breakaway. A nice job on the defense there from Sharp to catch back up to him. Brandt looked like he had an edge to get a breakaway. Instead, it comes back the other way. Nagel has it in the offensive zone, pokes it along as Elias down to the corner now for James Hong. Hong acquired from Waterloo in May with a shot from that far side that's blocked, and it deflects out towards neutral ice as Elias sends it right back to him. Hong, far side, looking for options, drops there. A player for Madison, Max Nagel, gets to the near side, fresh off the benches, Nathan Toby. Backhands it out front, looking for Hong. Unable to find him, but it gets to Felicio. Far side, shot gloved there by Guimond. Holds on for a whistle, just past the halfway point of period number one. A face-off will come in the offensive zone for the Capitals. James Hong and Jack Brandt getting into it a little bit with a couple of Rough Rider players. Face-off on the far side. It'll be to the left of Guimond in net. Rice, Long, Lamb, Jamison, and Nathan Toby. Toby, one of the national team development players, three of them here on the Capitals this season after playing a pair of seasons in Plymouth. Long on the far side, Down into the corner, he takes it, powers his way backhand that time, and it just goes right off the pad and into the corner. Cedar Rapids tries to break. Jamison tries to pinch as Rice with a nice job to back check there as it goes all the way down offside. They have to touch up are the Rough Riders as Brendan Lamb behind the net starts things to the far side to the right of Carson Musser. Tries to thread the needle to Sam Rice. It's intercepted. Silverberg has Littler on the far side. Littler with a shot. I think he whiffed on it, and it never got to Musser as the Capitals will come the other way. Long tried to get bodied off the puck there, was a Cedar Rapids player, but Long just throws him to the surface. Long coming in 6'3", 190, a big body there for the Capitals, and that's what the Capitals have a lot of this season. Brink with a chance, shot that time, and it just goes wide. Far side, Brink gets it that time up the far side wall. Sitting there is Henry. Down low, Kuzma near side, deflects up and out of play, face off. It'll stay inside for Madison. 8:44 to go, period number 1. 0-0 our score. Same 5 players for the Caps. Cedar Rapids will mix it up on the back end. Kuzma, Brink, Rossi, Henry, and Fry for the Caps. Face off one back by Cedar Rapids. Up that far side wall they go. Paisley will just chip it off the glass. It'll go out of the zone as Kuzma kind of kicks it there and kicks the puck around a bit, and it goes to a Rough Rider player. Shot that time deflected up and out of play by Harper Fry. A nice recovery there by the Caps as Fry gets a piece of it, and it chips out of play. Face off exactly 11.5 in a period number 1 to come to the left of Carson Musser in net. I don't know if there's a strategy with goaltending in preseason, especially the first couple of split games, or whether you give Musser a full game. Didn't quite get the strategy from the Capitals coaching staff, including goaltending coach Shane Connolly. That's one thing this Madison Capitals team wants to do. They want to embrace this Capitals city and the Capital City hockey scene. As Brnovic into the offensive zone, tries to find Rollers streaking down the middle. Rollers has done a nice job with his spacing tonight, has been open in spots. Delaney up top, far side for Henry. Back to Delaney. Delaney with speed circling around the zone. Delaney just pops it out front, hoping someone's there. No one's home, and Cedar Rapids will come the other way. Harper Fry backhands it up that far side wall as the Capitals will slow things down just inside their own defensive blue. Far side, it's Henry towards the middle for Brnovic. Brnovic deflects it, and it goes to a Cedar Rapids player as the Rough Riders now trying to go up ice. Far side, Caden Lee doesn't get a deflection on the way down. Icing on Cedar Rapids. A face-off to come inside the offensive zone for Madison. James Hong in the third line want it on the near side to the right of Guimond, and that's exactly what they'll get. Michoud and Elias will join him on the back end. Ethan Elias doesn't have to have that E next to his last name this year as Rastislav Elias no longer on the roster here for Madison. Goaltenders for Madison is James Hong with a chance. Goaltenders for Madison in camp this season, Carson Musser, Carlis Mazargis, and Patrick Bersinch for Madison as James Hong with a nice deflection. He'll bring it into the offensive zone. He throws on the brakes. High slot shot deflected wide by Guimond. Doing a nice job to stop that first shot is the Rough Riders goaltender. The Capitals just aren't getting enough chances on those rebounds, going to the dirty areas to slam things home. This Capitals team has a lot of skill on the outsides. Something that you'll want to look for. A penalty coming up on Cedar Rapids as Jack Brandt doesn't like it much. Goes in there. It's Arseny Marchenko, the one sending Max Nagel into the wall. Nagel appears to be all right. As 2-minute minor for boarding sends the Capitals to their first power play opportunity of the preseason. For the Caps, it'll be a unit of Hong, Rollers, Brnovic, Delaney, and Will Felicio on the back end. As Rollers to take the draw. as the faceoff's one back to Felicio. Felicio slows things down. Delaney on the near side as it's down to Hong in the corner. Hong gets it back to Delaney up top. Up now to Felicio. Far side for Brnovic. Brnovic with a shot. Sits there, and it's blockered that time by Guimond. Trying to get our first look at the Capitals power play unit. As it looks like Delaney and Brnovic will be playing the outsides, at least on this first unit, 14 seconds in to the penalty for Cedar Rapids on the defenseman, Marchenko. A warning given. Cedar Rapids as the faceoff's won back by Rollers. Felicio, near side Delaney. Back up top for Felicio. Felicio looking for options. Far side Brnovic, top of the far side circle, looking for options. He'll get it back up top for Felicio. Felicio looking for a lane, far side for Brnovic. Brnovic with a shot. It's deflected. Rebound sits there. Rollers collects, puts it back out front. Cedar Rapids tries to clear. They're successful in doing so. 35 into the man advantage for Madison. Couple of chances, but nothing come from either of them. Felicio, far side now Brnovic into the offensive zone. Throws on the brakes. Near side, Delaney streaking down out front, looking for Rollers, unsuccessful. Was in midair. Near side, Delaney again. Brnovic, backdoor feed, he wipes out, but the Capitals still looking to maintain possession. Over halfway through the man advantage for the Caps. It looks like Brnovic got a stick up high. The Capitals dig that one out. It's James Hong on the far side. Hong down to Brnovic. Brnovic has Delaney on the near side, takes the shot instead. Felicio unable to hold the zone as it comes out towards neutral ice, keeping 3 of the Rough Riders out there. Felicio tried to feed it towards the middle for Brnovic. Instead, it'll go all the way down as Cedar Rapids able to clear. 5.5 to go in the period. 30 to go on this man advantage for Madison as unit number 2 comes onto the ice. Brandt, Brink, alongside Rozzi, Kuzma, and Henry. Henry skates it into the offensive zone. Looking for options there. Thought about dropping it back to Kuzma. A nice job and a nice recovery there by the Caps to get it back. Rozzi looking for options here. Far side. Sits there for a moment. Cedar Rapids will be able to successfully kill their first penalty as Marchenko able to step out of the box. Under 5 to go in period number 1. As the Capitals 0 for 1 on the man advantage here in preseason. On the near side, Cedar Rapids. Jeunesse plays it down in deep. As the Capitals chase after it now. Nathan Tobey up the near side wall. Towards the middle it goes. At the point there for a moment is Groenwald as he sends it off the end wall. And the Capitals will start the rush the other way. There's a straight out race for it. Aiden Long looked like he played good body positioning the whole way down. Unsuccessful on getting it there, though. But Brendan Lamb there to recover for Madison. Lamb tries to get it up that far side wall. Instead, Jeunesse towards the middle of the ice. It'll be Groenwald spinning back. A nice job by Aiden Long to get possession back for the Caps, but he's kind of held up there by the Rough Rider defense. And now it's Cedar Rapids back the other way. Jeunesse has been playing a lot here tonight, especially with that top line on paper and Paisley and Fitzgerald. Towards the middle it goes for Jamison. Jamison chips it to the far side wall. That far side wall he holds on the half wall at least for a moment. Cedar Rapids tries to poke out of the zone. A nice job by Rozzi to play it out of midair, but Cedar Rapids will be the next to touch it as it comes up the near side wall to Jeunesse. Jeunesse unable to get it out. A nice job to feed it towards the middle for Kuzma. Just unsuccessful on getting it to another Capital. 3:26 to go, period number 1, as the Capitals hold up in the defensive zone, and they'll come the other way now. The 3-on-2. Brink has Michoud with him. A shot. Rebound sits there. Rozzi tries to slam it home. It sits there, and it just goes off the post. A great chance for Madison. Just unsuccessful with it. The rebound was there for him to slam it home. Rozzi tried to. Musser comes way out of his net to play this one. It's held in, and Musser was taken down on the play. But the Capitals try to come out the other end as Charbonneau in the defensive zone is shot on to Musser. He holds on for a whistle. Or rather, it finds its way through. Cedar Rapids strikes first here in this one as Charbonneau gets the scoring. for Cedar Rapids. I thought Musser had that one. Not the case. As the Capitals trail in period number 1, in a period where it seems like most of the offensive attack has been on the left side of the ice at my vantage point, and that's the Capitals' offensive end. Cedar Rapids able to get one by Musser here early on in this game, obviously. Still 42 minutes of game time. The Capitals bench was buzzing before, had a couple of chances, and instead it's Cedar Rapids striking first. Nagel on the far side gets it to Hong, a 3-on-2 for Madison. Hong near side now for Henry, throws on the brakes, backdoor feed. Brandt gets it up top for Fry. Fry with a shot there, deflects just wide. James Hong might have got a piece of it. Far side, Cedar Rapids breaks out of the zone, and they'll go into the offensive zone. It's Silverberg on that far end. Silverberg, part of this top line here tonight. It's listed as the fourth line, but you look at Silverberg, Lalonde, and Littler, the type of players that they have, as I believe a penalty upcoming on Madison, sending Cedar Rapids to their first power play of the night. It's Harper Fry, 2 minutes for holding. As that sends Cedar Rapids to their first power play of the evening. Penalty comes at the 17:51 mark of the period. Face-off one back by Cedar Rapids. Sharp up top to the near side now. As it's Brennan to the far side. A shot doesn't get all the way through. It's blocked, and the Capitals will have a chance to clear. Brendan Lamb will put some pressure on the penalty kill, and a shot on as well. Goes to that far side pad. Him and Nagel, the two penalty killing forwards for the Caps, joined by Toby and Jamison on the back end. Paisley to the middle. A nice job with the poke check there. I believe Brendan Lamb got a piece of it. Tries to clear the zone. Unsuccessful on their first attempt. Successful on the second. 35 into the penalty kill for Madison as Cedar Rapids starts 200 feet from their attacking end. 1:25 to go. Period number 1. 1:15 to go on the power play for Cedar Rapids. Towards the middle of the ice, they try to enter the offensive zone. It would have been offside. They do touch up before they go in. Groenwald on the near side. Drops back there for Johnson. Johnson on the team last year for Cedar Rapids. Gets it back up to Groenwald, who pinches down into the near side corner. Groenwald up top now for Schiller. Schiller back to Groenwald on the near side half wall. Groenwald looked like he struggled with possession a little bit there. Capitals able to clear on it. 45 to go here on the penalty. 52 to go here in the period. 1-0 Cedar Rapids leads. Emmanuelson Charbonneau with the game's lone goal of the game, as the Capitals will be able to clear this one once again. Cedar Rapids not able to establish much inside the offensive zone here on the power play. 30 to go in the period, 20 to go on the man advantage for the Rough Riders as they play with it behind their own goal. Up the near side wall, it's Mikan towards the middle. Mikan plays with it a little bit and backhands it up that far side wall. Capitals will have a chance to clear, but it's held in at the wall. Deflects a couple times along the way and poked up the near side wall. The Capitals have a player sent into the wall as they're back at full strength. Harper Fry back out onto the ice. Capitals won't be able to clear with 2 seconds left in the period. A nice save there by Carson Musser after 20 minutes of play here in Middleton. 1-0 our score in favor of the visiting Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. We'll have your intermission coverage coming up after this. You're listening to Capitals Hockey on Caps Radio on YouTube. Slam it home. Bailey scores! intermission number 1 here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. As the Capitals trail 1-0 at the break. We'll go through the first period summary. Marchenko put on the box for boarding, sent the Capitals to a power play as something that you'd see a lot of in period number 1, offensive zone time for Madison. And I think when we get to the totals in period number 1, that'll show that as well. But it was Cedar Rapids hitting the board first, 17-14 of period number 1. Emmanuelson Charbonneau, the University of Nebraska Omaha commit, finds the board. Cade Littler and Jack Silverberg with the assists on the goal put the Rough Riders ahead 1-0. They'd have a chance to go up by 2 as they were put on the power play within the next minute. Harper Fry to the box, 2 minutes for holding at 17:51. Cedar Rapids unable to convert on that power play attempt, as that gets us to where we're at right now, a Cedar Rapids 1-0 lead. Totals after period number 1, of course, 1-0. 1 goal for Cedar Rapids, 0 for Madison in period number 1. Penalties in minutes, 2 aside. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. But throughout the period, it was offensive zone time for the Capitals. And I think this next stat really shows that here is 17-5 shots on goal for the Capitals in period number 1. The offensive zone time was outstanding. Just weren't able to put the puck in the net, and you need a couple bounces to go your way always, yes. But a couple of times they had the puck just sitting there on a tee in front, unable to slam it home, as the Capitals look to convert on a couple of those in period number 2. The period of the long change, the Capitals had the Rough Riders kind of off their feet a couple of times in the first period. Maybe they'll be able to catch them in period number 2. We'll go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have period number 2 for you here. It's Bob Suiter Capital Ice Arena, preseason game number 1, Caps Hockey on Caps Radio on YouTube. Thanks for joining us here this evening. 20 minutes in the books here in Middleton. 20 more to be put on the board, 40 more to be played here tonight. It's Capitals Hockey Live here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Thanks for joining me. I'm Drew Steele, captaining the ship, going through your ear ocean all evening long and all season long. All home games. We'll get to a couple of road games as well throughout the year. Will we hear on Caps Radio as the Caps will move left to right here in period number 2. Cedar Rapids comes in with the lone goal. Emmanuelson Charbonneau finds the lone tally, 17-14 of period number 1. They'll move right to left in period number 2. We're underway as the faceoff one back. Harper Fry will chip it down in deep as Guimond holds there for a moment. Up the near side, Rossi intercepts, but Cedar Rapids with a nice recovery as they come outside the zone. Kuzma tries to force it down low to Rossi. Guimond hops on top of it, holds on for a whistle, 15 seconds into period number 2. Pair of penalties in period number 1. One per team. Marchenko for boarding at 12:58 of period number 1. Harper Fry for holding, 17:51 of the period. Shots on goal in period number 1, 17-5 in favor of the Capitals. Ice was tilted to the left in period number 1. Hopefully it tips back the other way towards the right this time as the period of the long change here in period number 2. Face-off won by the Caps. Brink sends it to the far side corner. Rossi there for it, plays it down to Brink. Brink cycles around the zone, up top now for Fry. Fry to the near side now for Toby. Toby down into the corner he goes, far side now for Kuzma. Kuzma has a player right on him there for Cedar Rapids that bounces around a bit. Jake Rossi tripped up, no call. Fry at the point. Near side now for Toby. Toby funnels one towards the net, it goes wide the whole way. Karams to the far side now for Brink. Shot there from Brink. Rossi with a chance and then chips just wide of the goal that time as Cedar Rapids will have a chance to clear. They'll just rainbow this one above the Caps defense. No high stick on the play as they try to force it to the middle. They were looking that time for Ty Paisley. Unsuccessful on finding him on that first attempt, but they get it down low to him this time. Far side, it's Andrew Kuzma ahead now for Brink. Just over a minute gone here in period number 2 as Kuzma tries to send it in deep. Brink will go for a change as well as Rossi as the Capitals get a couple of new players out onto the ice. Paisley will chip it down to the offensive zone for Cedar Rapids as they'll pick up off the end wall. Far side, it's Charbonneau. He scored the game's lone goal this one so far. It just squeaked by Musser. He'll hold on to this one, Will Musser, though. 18:31 to go, period number 2. 1-0 our score in favor of the visiting Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. The rest of line 2 will complete itself as Rainers Rollers comes down to the ice. The Rain Man, as the faceoff will be on the far side. It'll be to the left of Musser in net. For Cedar Rapids, it's their second line. Matched there by the Caps. Face-off one ahead by the Capitals. Delaney kicks it out of the zone that time as Smith picks up there for Cedar Rapids. They'll send it right back in. Felicio near side for Elias. Elias up the near side for Delaney. Bernovic through the middle of the ice there. Pokes it along, a 2-on-1. Has Rollers with him. He tries to just dive for it as it kind of got poked away from him as Delaney does a nice job to keep that one inside the offensive zone for Madison. Far side, Smith tries to just get it out of the zone to Groenwald as he does. Bernovic backhands it to the far side looking for Delaney. Backtracks it to Felicio. Felicio near side now for Elias. Elias, far side, Delaney into the offensive zone he comes. Delaney has Rollers on the near side, just threw his feet that time. Rollers to the point for Michaud, a bit too far behind him, and the Capitals have to regroup at neutral. 17:39 to go, period number 2. 1-0 Cedar Rapids leads from a first period goal. Hong towards the middle for Felicio. Felicio backhand shot that time. Again, sits there for a moment. Jack Brandt got a piece of it along the way, but Guimond there to answer the bell once again. Brandt has to get caught up in his feet. Michaud all the way back. Near side now for Henry. Henry plays it off the wall looking for Michaud. He kind of gets cross-checked off the puck there as it's Aiden Welch on the far side. Welch put up against the wall by Michaud. Michaud falls to the surface. Welch gets possession, but Michaud there ready to keep things moving forward for Madison. Nagel to Hong on the far. Back to Nagel. Nagel backhands it. Sitting backdoor was Brandt. Unsuccessful. Hong now with the chance. Sits there in the slot. Still in the slot as Jack Brandt a bit slow to get up behind the play. He'll skate it off and head to the bench as that'll give way for Aiden Long as Jack Henry gets things moving forward. Hong, far side now for Nagel. Nagel looking for a shooting lane. Scored a goal the last time he played Cedar Rapids in this building. Short-handed goal where he had Brendan Fitzgerald, cousin of Riley Fitzgerald, on his heels that time and all the way down. Sam Rice with a chance. Sits out front, just goes wide. Does the shot from Aiden Long. Lamb up top for Toby. Toby falls to his feet, but Lamb able to hold in for Madison. Long back beneath the goal line. Held up against the wall there by number 8. That's Slezik. Rice down low for Long. Long beneath the goal line. Tries to put it out front. Lamb had to lift a stick and just wasn't able to get possession of the puck as Jamison recovers for Madison, but it's back inside their own defensive blue. 15:48 to go, period number 2. Far side as Aiden Long chips it down in deep as Rudy Guimond in his first USHL action here today gets things moving forward. Brink deflects it there. Instead, it comes the other way on the stick this time of number 24, Lucas Brennan. Shot goes wide as the Capitals try to start up ice once again. Brink at neutral ice tries to just hold off Joe Schiller that time. The two Minnesota natives go at it for a moment before Cedar Rapids starts up ice. Up the near side wall, number 21, that's Marchenko. He took a penalty in the first period. Didn't result in anything for Madison. Able to recover there is Lalonde. Lalonde, far side backhand. That one towards the net. Blockered away as it's Max Nagel through neutral ice moving forward. And rather, that's Andrew Kuzma. Rossi deflects that one down. They say offside, so the Caps will have to touch up. Far side goes through neutral. It's Paisley. Paisley poking it around and chips it towards the net as Delaney now moves things forward for Madison. Bernovic looks for options, surveys the ice, gets it to Delaney, who's moving quick through neutral. Delaney, Elias, up top, near side, rollers with a shot that just goes wide. Excellent attempt from Madison as this second line for the Caps moving the puck forward. The second and third line having a lot of success at that here tonight. Henry into the offensive zone. Henry in the near side corner, unable to hold on to it. Zach Sharp able to take over as they'll start the rush back up the other way. Intercepted along the way. Felicio on possession. Felicio sends things forward. Sharp intercepts as now Cedar Rapids into the offensive zone. Sharp on the near side, a shot from a sharp angle. No pun intended there. Held on to by Carson Musser. As Isaac Johnson, it's kind of hit down to the ice surface by Chris Delaney. As the faceoff will be in the defensive zone. 1-0 Cedar Rapids maintains their lead. 6:02 into period number 2. Third line hops out for Madison. Talked with head coach and GM Andy Brandt earlier this week. He said he's going to plan on rolling 4 lines as much as possible here this season, and you've seen that a lot here today. A nice job playing the body by the Caps defense and forwards as Max Nagel now beneath the defense. Groenwald catches up, though. A nice job by the defenseman there wearing the Kelly green. On the near side, it's Johnson ahead for Sutton. Sutton looking for options, gets it back that time to Johnson on the far side. James Hong plays the body. The Capitals will start back up ice the other way. Nagel looking for options. Hong on the far side. Hong plays it off the wall. It doesn't go far enough, but Michoud there for it. Michoud now to Hong. Hong tries to feed it backdoor for Nagel, unsuccessful. Jamison will go corral at neutral. Far side, Michoud into the offensive zone, kind of skates over it. Down to the far side wall. Johnson plays it around the wall. Groenwald up the far side now as Cedar Rapids starts back the other way. On possession there is Dominic Elliott, a third-year Rough Rider. As Musser will play it up that far side, has it poked off of his stick as the Capitals come back the other way. Rice forward now for Lamb. Lamb throws on the brakes. Backhands it into the corner for Rice. Rice continues it for Long. Long a bit too far in front of him as Toby now down into the corner for Rice. Rice to Lamb. Lamb looking for options here. Lamb with a toe drag, and it's picked up there by Mikan, but Lamb goes and gets it back for Madison. Down in the corner. Mikan held up against the wall by Aiden Long. As he'll come away with it, though, does the Rough Rider, as the Capitals unsuccessful on holding the zone. Won't matter, though. Icing on Cedar Rapids. 12:19 to go, period number 2. Capitals with an offensive zone draw as the Capitals will take it to the right of Guimond in net. Top line hops out for the team wearing white today. That's Madison. That's Rozzy, Kuzma, and Brink for the Caps. A line of vets, and a lot of vets on that front end for Madison coming into the season. 6 third-year players, as I think you've seen a lot of it today. It's hustling up and down the ice as Mikan with a shot deflected by Harper Fry to the far side. Kuzma, near side now for Rozzy. Rozzy through neutral ice ahead for Brink. No offside on the play, but the puck just kind of makes its way towards the net. Brink will go and recover for Madison. Up top now for Felicio. Near side for Elias. Elias wins the race to the puck. Elias with a shot that time, deflected along the way. No call will come as Kuzma was taken down, but a shot blocked there by Elliott. Far side. Capitals will take it there. Rozzy brings it over to Brink. Brink on that far side picks up possession, tries to get it up to the point. Instead, it's Cedar Rapids and Mikan sending it all the way down. No icing as he had achieved the red line first. 11:22, period number 2. Through neutral ice, the Capitals come. Brnovic turns back towards neutral as Cedar Rapids takes advantage of it and forces him to turn the puck over. Groenwald, another turnover as throughout play, the game's gotten a little choppy at times. His first preseason game for either team. Brink to the far side for Brnovic. Doesn't have anybody with him, so he turns back. Brnovic sends it towards the middle. Felicio and Rollers on the same page, but the problem is that Brnovic didn't see that both of them were going. Rollers on the near side has a ton of speed for a guy of his size. Coming in today at 6'4", 194. Again, one of those tall guys for Madison out there with his line mate in Austin Brnovic as well. Henry at the point. Has it for Madison. Near side for Brnovic. Shot that time, deflects along the way. Sits there. Delaney tries to slam it home. Instead, it's Cedar Rapids coming back the other way as Michaud will get possession as the Capitals try to enter the offensive zone. It deflects once or twice, and the Capitals back on possession at neutral. Nagel back for Michaud. Near side now for Henry. Henry up the near side wall as James Hong into the offensive zone. Hong turns back up ice. Dangles around, throws it out front, no one home. Michaud, far side shot that time, blocked along the way. Went up and out of play. We get a whistle and immediate timeout. Caps trail 1-0 halfway through period number 2. You're listening to Caps Hockey on Caps Radio right here on YouTube. Slam it home. Bailey scores! Offensive zone draw for Madison to come. 9:59 into period number 2. James Hong, Max Nagel, and Jack Brandt at his wings, joined by Toby and Jamison on defense. Nagel with his shot that time blocked as Cedar Rapids will try to clear the zone. Instead it comes up the near side where Toby on possession. Far side for Jamison. Jamison with the shot that rings around to the near side. Nagel back beneath the goal line, takes it to the far side now and brings a couple of Cedar Rapids players with him. Jamison back beneath the goal line the other way. Up top, Nagel, shot one-timer, deflects a couple times. Cedar Rapids clears the zone as the Capitals take over once again at neutral. 9.5 to go in period number 2. Far side, Jamison into the offensive zone by way of a dump-in, icing on the Caps. 9:22 to go, period number 2. 1-0. The visiting Rough Riders in the lead. Capitals donning their new jerseys. White jerseys, Capitals crest on front. 3 stripes on each arm and at the waist. The MC84 logo, the MC Wisconsin State logo, I should say, on one shoulder, the Cedar 20 logo on the other. Up the near side, it's Max Nagel trying to clear the zone, unsuccessful on doing so. As the second attempt does get Aiden Welch to stick handle outside the zone. Zach Sharp turns it right back up, though, as Cedar Rapids into the offensive zone. A nice job by Jamison to avoid pressure as he picks up possession. Nagel tries to send it to the far side, looking that time for Jack Brandt, unsuccessful on finding him, as Cedar Rapids back into the offensive zone on the stick of Caden Lee. Lee throws on the brakes on the near side, looks for options as it goes out towards neutral, this time for Elliott. Elliott, one of a couple of returning players here for Cedar Rapids, as into the offensive zone comes Hong. Hong down low, Nagel now forces his way towards the net. A nice job using the stick that time by Guimond. Gets it off a Nagel's stick, keeps it going in that direction. No one knew where it was until eventually Zach Sharp settled things down for the Rough Riders. Chipped in on that time on Mazargas as the Capitals switch goaltenders at that second period media timeout. As Musser's night over, gives up the 1 goal to Charbonneau in the first. Face off to the left of Mazargas. One back that time by the Caps. As up the near side, the Caps trying to break out, unsuccessful on doing so. As it goes all the way down, where this time it's Harper Fry playing up that far side wall. Chips it all the way down. It looks like it'll catch up, so no icing will be on the Caps here. As settling things down is Joe Schiller behind his own goal. Schiller steps out to the left of his goaltender, plays it up the near side wall. A nice job by the Caps to take over and enter the offensive. It's Rice towards the middle. Lamb, far side shot, just goes wide by Aiden Long. This fourth line has had some great chances in the second period, and they're still going. Rice has this one pop up in the air. Lamb, now Rice again. Rice looking for options, plays it down to the corner. Now Lamb on the near side. Slammed up against the wall to his side there, work. It'll be Cedar Rapids coming away with it as they just chip this one and rainbow it above. Icing on Cedar Rapids to follow. Isaac Johnson will have to go back to the bench as Ty Paisley will remain. Face off to come in the offensive end for Madison. They'll throw their top line out. Will the Caps? Face off will be to the right of goaltender Guimond. Looks like he'll have the entire game tonight as a face-off. This time is won back by the Caps. Henry holds. Felicio, far side now. Brink down low. Rozzi out front looking that time for Kuzma, unable to find him. Felicio on the near side, down to the near for Henry. Henry with a shot, deflects that time, sits there for a moment, trying to slam it home are the Capitals, and Guimond hops on top of it. Brink slammed to the surface by Charbonneau and Paisley, as I believe the faceoff will stay inside. For the Caps, faceoff will be on the near side to the left of Guimond. 13 minutes even into period number 2. 1-0 Cedar Rapids lead. Aforementioned Charbonneau, the goal scorer tonight, assisted by Littler and Silverberg at the moment. The only tally on the center hanging scoreboard here at Cap Ice. Top line still out there for Madison. Face-off one back by Kuzma. Near side, Felicio looking for a shooting lane. Sends it to the far side. A little too much sauce on that for Henry, and now it's a 2-on-1 the other way. Shot, Sutton. Kicked away there by Mazargas. Caps will come. Brink into the offensive zone. A ton of speed do the Caps have. A shot from Brink. Glove there by Guimond. Held on to for a whistle. 6:39 to go in the second. Still 1-0. Cedar Rapids in the lead. Face-off will be on that far side. To the right of Guimond. The Yale commit in net for Cedar Rapids. Face off one back by the Caps, sent down low as it goes all the way back where Sharp will play it over to the far side for Brnovic. Delaney up that far side wall, held in by Michoud. Michaud's shot deflects along the way, just wide on the near side as the Capitals pick back up. Tried to force it to the middle for Brnovic, did Delaney, as a puck up for grabs on that far side wall. Michoud goes down to play. Brnovic almost intercepts, I think gets a piece of it. Cedar Rapids still trying to clear their own zone. Eventually they do. It's a race to it. Jamison will just play the body as Mazargas plays the puck. As the Capitals start up ice, offside are the Rough Riders as a player had lost his feet. That player being Marchenko, 2006-born Belarusian for Cedar Rapids. The face-off will be on the far side. Just outside the Caps defensive end, pardon. A warning given to that far side. A little too antsy. Our Jack Brandt. I believe Cade Littler over there with him. Face-off one back by the Caps. Nagel through neutral ice into the offensive zone. Nagel towards the middle. Shot just goes wide. I think he was looking for a deflection along the way as Jack Brandt was interfered with, trying to get possession of the puck. Cedar Rapids will come into the offensive zone. His shot deflects to that far side. Jack Brandt will go pick up for Madison. Brandt sends the body down to the surface. The body, that being of Charbonneau, as the Caps through neutral ice have possession. Even numbers 3-on-3 as Hong enters the offensive zone. Drops there for Brandt. Backdoor feed. That's there for Harper Fry, who evens our game at 1-1. Excellent feed there by James Hong. Gets Madison all square at 1-1. Harper Fry, third round phase 1 pick for the Capitals. Pinches down, finds the backdoor goal. I believe Hong on the assist on that one. I didn't quite see the other number. I think Max Nagel might have been in on it as well. That goal coming just about at the 5.5-minute mark of period number 2. As the Capitals tie things up, 5:13 to go, period number 2. With as much offensive pressure as the Caps have had here in the period and in the game so far, have to imagine that maybe the gates are open. It's all square now, but back to a tie game, sure, but the Capitals outshot Cedar Rapids 17-5 in period number 1. I can only imagine what that number is now. And still, most of the time of today's game has been in the offensive zone. Brendan Lamb up that far side wall towards the middle of the ice, gets it to the near side now for Elias. Elias with a shot. He had a player backdoor in Sam Rice asking for it, as it'll turn things back up. Will the Caps, Will Felicio back inside their own defensive end, will eventually just throw on the brakes as they'll wait for a couple changes and wait for his perfect opportunity to step out to the left that time of his goaltender. Aiden Long deflects it forward, and Cedar Rapids takes advantage of it. It's Smith now backtracking for Elliott. Now Groenwald into the offensive zone via deflection from the Rough Riders. Elias drops there for Felicio. Felicio throws on the brakes. Near side now coming through neutral is Kuzma. Kuzma tries to get advantage of it. Instead, it's coming the other way. Paisley into the offensive zone. Far side throws on the brakes. Paisley, top line left wing on paper here today. Gets things moving forward for Cedar Rapids and trying to get momentum back. And actually, as odd as it sounds, after the Capitals scored, it's Cedar Rapids with the quicker answer. Near side, Paisley slammed into the wall. There for it. Up top it goes for a moment as it goes all the way to the point. Now Marchenko's shot sits there for a moment. Mazargas scrambles for it as he's sprawled out and holds on for the whistle. 1-1 our score. 3:34 to go, period number 2. Face-off will come on the near side to the right. Mazargas in net. Face-off won back by the Caps as Michaud has it to the near side now for Henry. Henry trying to move things forward, but kind of got hit while he was passing to Rainer's Rollers as the Capitals will come the other way. It's a 2-on-1. Rollers with Brnovic. Brnovic has possession. A shot goes off the cage at Guimond. Brnovic picks up the miss. Delaney with a shot deflects just wide as it's Rainer's up top now for Henry, who's unable to hold the zone. Johnson just keeps his feet moving, but Henry gets possession back for Madison. Far side, Delaney into the offensive zone. Rollers towards Brnovic. Brnovic with a chance, forces it to the backhand, and Guimond stays square to the puck and holds on for a whistle. Under 3 to go in the second. Capitals offense is activated once again. The face-off in the offensive zone. Near side draw to the left of Guimond upcoming. Warning given to the Madison Capitals. Hold them up, boys. As this top line will do it again for the Caps. Bottom line on paper for Cedar Rapids, but Cade Littler's going to be one of their key contributors. Rozzi, high, top of the near side circle, I should say. I was going to say high slot. Didn't quite get all the way there. Shot goes wide. Brink goes and plays with it beneath the goal line. Brink has a stick taken out of his hands. As instead he picks it right back up, and Cedar Rapids will come the other way. 2:40 to go in the period. Far side, shot just goes wide. Near side, Caden Lee tried to play it as it goes down low. Littler towards the net. Mazargas picks it up with his blocker, I believe. And he'll hold on for the whistle. 17-29, pardon. Preseason for the broadcaster as well. Working on my hockey math. 17-29 into period number 1. 2:31 remain on the clock. Face off on the near side to the right of Mazargas coming. Warning given to the Caps. James Hong in this third line out there for Madison. As the face-off won back by the California native. Smith on the near side up top now for Sharp. Sharp back to Smith. Smith on the near side half wall, just played into the corner. No one home besides Harper Fry, who plays to the far side now for Jack Brandt. Brandt bodied off the puck. Down low, Cedar Rapids picks up, but James Hong intercepts. Capitals really on their heels for the first time in a while in this game. As Hong picks back up, Brandt will chip it out. As Max Nagel chases after it, Sharp will be the first one to it. 2 minutes to go in the period, 1-1 our score. Through neutral ice come Cedar Rapids. They chip it all the way down. Smith drags a player to the ice. Power play upcoming for Madison. Max Nagel realizes it as he'll slow things down and let the extra attacker come onto the ice. This power play will hang over. Fry had the puck roll off the end of his stick as the Capitals to their second power play of the night at 18-22 a period number 2. Number 22, Connor Smith to the box. Believe a trip to call. Face-off is won back by the Caps. Felicio near side, Brnovic. Brnovic with a shot that just goes over the net. Rollers had his helmet pop off, so the Caps are back here at even strength before Rollers gets possession of his helmet back, or rather he had to go to the bench. So Jack Brandt out here with not his normal unit. Mikan looks for an option. The shot that time comes from the point. As Groenwald throws one on net. Holding for a whistle is Mazargas. Face-off will be in the defensive zone. 1:35 on the power play. Second unit completes themselves on the ice. As just 25 seconds into the man advantage, of course, just seconds into the man advantage. The Rollers lost his bucket after winning the draw. Rozzi near side now as Henry starts from behind his own net. Henry is joined here by Rozzi as well as Kuzma, Brandt, and Brink. Brink has it on the far side, trying to find Kuzma on the near. Back over to Brink, but it goes out of the zone, or just barely does, rather. A nice job by Henry to play the body. Henry thought he had a chance to hold the zone. Eventually could not, as the Capitals offside there. Jake Rozzi doesn't like it. The new cap turns back to Michael Ivkovic, the linesman. Didn't like the offside ruling. Face-off outside the offensive zone. This power play will hang over if it gets to that point as Kuzma wins it back near side. Henry after a feed from Rozzi. Henry rings it around to the far side now for Brink. Brink up top for Rozzi. Rozzi to the near side now as Henry and Kuzma kind of miscommunicate there, and it's hustling back for it as Finn Brink. Brink drags a player down to the ice. No call will come. Under 30 to go in the period. 49 to go on the man advantage for Madison. But Cedar Rapids has had the better of the attempts here on the power play for Madison. They're killing a penalty off and maintaining time in the offensive zone. Kuzma passes up that far side wall for Rozzi. 12 seconds to go in the period. Nice set of hands there by Rozzi. Near side for Henry. Henry into the offensive zone to the middle. Brandt. 5 seconds to go in the period. I don't know if he realizes it towards the net as 1 second goes by. The Caps with a quick shot off as the horn sounds. 22 seconds will remain on the penalty to number 22, Connor Smith. But after 2 periods of play, the Capitals all square with Cedar Rapids by a score of 1-1. We'll have your intermission stats coming up after this. It's Capitals Hockey on Caps Radio on YouTube. Slam it home. Steele scores! Much more upbeat here at intermission number 2 here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. 1-1 our score through 2 periods of play. Capitals will start period number 3 on the man advantage. We'll go through a quick turn of events in period number 2. Only 2 game action, but halfway through the period, the goaltenders did switch for the Capitals. Carson Muster finishes the night 7 of 8 in net, .875 goals against average, or save percentage, and a 2.00 goals against average to his name. He gives way for Carlos Mazargas as Mazargas stopped the rest of the Cedar Rapids shots there in period number 2. Not stopping every shot in period number 2 was the goaltender on the other end, who's had a lot more shots his way. We'll get to the stats here in a little bit. Harper Fry scores his first exhibition goal for the Capitals. 5:30 remained in the period, or 5:30 remained in the period, pardon me, as James Hong and Max Nagel with the assist. 1-1 our score through 2 periods of play. Smith with the lone penalty in the period, coming at 8:22 of period number 2, sending the Capitals to the power play. Still 22 seconds of that power play hangover. Stats in period number 2. 1 goal for the Capitals, none for Cedar Rapids. Of course, Cedar Rapids scored in the first thanks to Emmanuelson Charbonneau, the Nebraska-Omaha commit, as shots on goal in period number 2, 15-9 in favor of Madison, 32-14 total for the game. Penalties and minutes, 2 minutes for Cedar Rapids, none for the Caps, as the Capitals still only 0 for 1 on the power play, looking to go 1 for 2, as, of course, that last 22 seconds could be something huge for the Capitals. A stat to note, every single faceoff had in period number 2 was won by the Capitals, all 13. 13-0 in the circle were the Capitals in period number 2. Obviously a huge part of the game is possession, and the Capitals are getting it in groves right now as the Caps up in that department. But, of course, tied on the scoreboard 1-1. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have period number 3 for you. It's Capitals Hockey live here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Capitals hockey live here on Caps Radio. All square, 1-1 between the two sides. As we head into period number 3, I'll go through a quick goal-scoring summary as both teams head out onto the ice for the third period of play. Period number 1, it was Emmanuelson Charbonneau with the goal, 1-0. Cedar Rapids led. Littler and Silverberg with the assists on the lone goal of period number 1. That goal came at 17-14 of the period. Period number 2, it was Harper Fry. 5:30 remained in the period when that goal took place. About the 5.5-minute mark remaining in the period is Harper Fry, assisted by James Hong and Max Nagel. Found himself onto the scoreboard. Every face-off in period number 2 won by Madison. Shots on goal after 2, 32-14 in favor of the Caps. Face-off will come at center ice here in a moment. Back to the short change. 1-1 our score. As the Caps move right to left across your radio dial here on Caps Radio. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Kind of a last-minute put-together thing, but I think it's something that we're going to do throughout the season. These audio-only YouTube feeds, as the Caps will start out a little bit of a mix-up here on lines. Obviously, with the power play, does bring things a little bit into question on lines and whatnot. Bernovic, Rellers, Hong, Felicio, and Delaney for the Caps. As 22 seconds remain of the overhanging man advantage, Rollers continues the Capitals' success in the circle as the Caps win it back and start up ice up the far side. Bernovic on the far side throws on the brakes but loses possession of the puck. It's in the feet. Rollers gets it up top to Felicio. Felicio had some pressure put on him by Fitzgerald. Places the near side for Hong. Hong spins back up top for Felicio. Rather, instead he keeps it down low. Hong with a shot that time deflects back towards him. Cedar Rapids will clear it all the way down. Icing to come when it gets there. Felicio hustles back to the hash marks for it. 19.5 to go in the period. Capitals with another offensive zone draw. The Killers have to remain on the ice for Cedar Rapids. The penalty Killers, that is. I don't think the band The Killers is coming out anytime soon. Face-off upcoming to the right of goaltender Guimond in net. Capitals 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Face-off is one back. Elias will play it down the near side wall to Brink. Brink leaves there for Kuzma. Kuzma up the near side wall looking for options. Spins off of it for a moment as Rossi will hold and send one towards the net. Guimond plays it with the glove. It was kind of knuckling and had that sauce action on it as well. Not the hardest shot in the world, but had enough on it that it had some action. Rossi now towards the net. Is it just deflects wide? Grunwald plays the body. Kuzma gets possession for Madison, though. As up top, it's Elias. Fry tries to send one towards the net. Unable to hold the zone as it goes off the shin pad of Silverberg. Bodies get tangled up. Brink plays possession of the puck back as the Capitals move up ice. Jumps over the stick of Kuzma. Icing on Madison. As face-off will be on the far side to the right of Mazargas in net. In case you missed the intermission stats, Carson Musser's night is over. They switched spots halfway through the period. I guess not exactly halfway. 1 second off. Musser 7 for 8. So the 8-7-5. Let one goal in half of a game. So that's a 2 in the goals against average category. I think the Capitals will take their goaltending, what they've had so far in this one, maintaining. But the goaltenders have been kind of quiet at points. And doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. Littler with a shot that goes over the net. Absolutely rifled that one as Brink plays that one towards the middle of the ice. Rossi into the offensive zone as Kuzma with him towards the net. Deflected just wide. Rather, that's Rellers. Rellers on the near side, unable to play it as it's Cedar Rapids back the other way. Silverberg towards the middle for Littler. Littler to the far side now as Lee will bring it into the offensive zone. Lee getting some time here with Silverberg and Littler. Looks like they might just be rolling the left wings throughout the lineup. Lifting the stick that time of Littler was Delaney as Bernovic will bring it up ice. Bernovic spins back, gets it moving forward. Delaney gets a deflection from the feet that time of Marchenko. As they race to it on the far side, Marchenko wins the battle as the Capitals will win the war and get possession, but Brnovic turns it over as Cedar Rapids will come the other way. Silverberg sends that one down in deep. Mazargas plays it up the near side wall. Delaney plays it towards the middle, but Groenwald intercepts. Groenwald, far side, shot goes wide. Near side. It's held in there. Sutton plays it off the end wall. On that far side, it's picked up by Janest. Janest up against the wall as the Capitals will dig that one out. It's Michoud. Michoud plays it to the far side now for Brnovic, who spins back and will allow a couple of Caps changes as he drops back to Henry. Michoud up the near side now as Hong will play it into the offensive zone. Hong sent up against the wall as he goes for possession on the near side, unable to get it as it comes all the way back to Jamison out at neutral. Toby turns it over. Into the offensive zone comes Sutton. Sutton's shot goes straight up in the air, out of play. Nice job by Mazargas on the play to recover. As the Capitals of an offensive zone draw. Almost a costly turnover there for the Capitals defense. Face off in the defensive zone to come. To the right this time, goaltender Mazargas. Face off one back. Toby plays it up the near side wall to Brandt. Brandt pops that one out as James Hong starts up ice. Therefore, it's Nagel. Nagel splits the defense there. Guimond pokes into the corner. Nagel gets possession, spins off of a check, and tries to maintain, but Cedar Rapids has the body numbers there. Nagel's still pestering around in the corner, trying to get possession. Unable to hold on as it's Cedar Rapids back the other way. Far side into the offensive zone. It's Paisley. Paisley into the corner, now sent up into the wall by Brandt. Brandt around to the near side for Jamison. Jamison starts up ice on the near side now for Nagel. Nagel chips it into the offensive zone, goes and plays the body, but Cedar Rapids will come back the other way. Has it poked off the linesman. Falls over the blue line there. Hope he's all right. That's Michael Ifkovich over there. We'll see him a lot throughout the season. As a shot deflects just wide off that far side wall. The line up that wall, and it's held in at the line that time by Sharp. Sharp plays it, and it just goes wide the whole way. Mazargas didn't have to touch it. Second shot from Sharp goes off the right pad and wide. Hong will play this one high in the sky. It'll be icing if it gets there, but Guimond will have to play it as it was going to go on net. Sharp, near side. It'll be Marchenko starting up ice as Cedar Rapids has the puck turned over, and now it's Aiden Long behind the defense. Long avoids one. Long with a shot now, and he actually just holds on too long. Shot still open. Sam Rice sends it wide. The net was wide open. Elias to the near side for Felicio. I don't think that Aiden Long had the lane that he probably wanted as Felicio hustles back for it. A nice job by the Capitals defenseman as the Capitals will start up that far side wall. It's stick lifted there along the way by Lamb. Rice in there as well. Sam Rice didn't see that net had been vacated by Guimond. Otherwise, we could be talking about a 2-1 Caps lead. Lalonde towards the middle that time as it poked off of his stick, but Silverberg gets it back. Groenwald with a shot. A nice job with the right pad by Mazargas. Shot again from Groenwald, blocked that time by Brendan Lamb as Finn Brink intercepts. Brink into the offensive zone, now has a player with him in Kuzma as he keeps possession inside the offensive zone. Backhands it down that far side wall. Jack Henry will go down and play it for Madison as Kuzma comes away with it. Kuzma up that far side, trying to hold it in for the Capitals. Finn Brink was holding the position of Henry, who was down in the corner. Kuzma over to the near side now, sticks in the feet of Harper Fry. Mazargas there to help him out and poke it up to him. Brink now into the offensive zone, far side now for Rozzi. Rozzi throws on the brakes, tries to throw it to the slot. Instead it comes the other way as the Capitals back on possession. Harper Fry up the near side wall. Brinkle deflected as Kuzma into the offensive zone now. Avoids one check, unable to get it to the other player that time for Madison. A nice job by Henry to jump over it. Finn Brink with a chance, and he scores! Jack Henry jumps over a Cedar Rapids player, backhands it towards the slot, and Finn Brink gives the Capitals their first lead of the preseason. .52 remain in period number 3. Capitals with the lead. Face-off won back by the Capitals as the Capitals lead 2-1, and they're going to be on the prowl again. Rollers has Delaney with him. A shot goes wide. Rebound sat there, but it'll be Brnovic picking it up. His momentum was taking him a different direction. Delaney taken down behind the net. Up the near side wall comes Cedar Rapids. They're off to the races. They trail for the first time this evening. Jamison takes it all the way back. He'll play it up the near side wall to Michaud. Michaud looks for options. He steps out to the left to Mazargas, sends it up that far side wall. Rollers deflects it forward, looking for Delaney. Just a bit too far in front of him. A nice job by Brnovic. Sits out front. Delaney hit from behind. Brnovic sits out front now for Michaud. Michaud has a player coming off the bench in Toby. Said takes it down into the corner as Michaud and the Capitals unable to hold on to possession as Cedar Rapids back into the offensive end. Smith with a shot, deflects off the stick. I thought that it hit off the stick and went to the net. I think Mazargas thought that too, but he somehow holds on for a whistle. Stick save for the win. Always helps out when you can use that stick to your advantage. Obviously, not a win at this point, but the Capitals in the lead for the first time tonight and the first time in the preseason as the Capitals win it back. Felicio pokes it over to that far side. Toby tries to continue it. Nagel up into the offensive zone now by way of James Hong and Jack Brandt. Brandt chips it down. A couple of Rough Riders unable to communicate between each other on whose puck is it as Brennan out towards neutral. Hit by Brandt and bringing it into the offensive zone is Sharp. Sharp has a shot deflected as he dropped back that time. As now Dominic Elliott will play it over to Sharp on that far side. Sharp into the offensive zone. It sits in the feet that time of Nathan Toby before James Hong goes back and tries to corral it. And Will Felicio helps out in the process. Felicio starts up ice. Has Fitzgerald on his heels. Far side. Felicio with a shot that time. It goes into the glass. Hong will hold. Down in the corner now. Nagel. High slot. Looks for a shooting lane. Finds one he likes. It goes wide. Elias. Down low. Hong there for it. Hong plays it now to the near side for Brandt. Brandt up to the near side point for Felicio. It goes out of the zone. As Felicio gets it over to Elias, the Capitals were trying to get right back in as eventually James Hong will bring it after Max Nagel was in a little stick battle there. Elias sends it down in deep. Capitals will have to touch up. It'll be a penalty upcoming. Contact to the head upcoming. A power play opportunity for Madison. Isaac Johnson to the box. 11:27 to go, period number 3. Looks like we have a media timeout. We'll take that here for a quick word. We had the pleasure of having Stanley Cup champ Will Nickel in the building to start off training camp, as we'll take a quick look at that. Back here at Cap Ice, Madison on the power play, third power play of the night, as Henry puts it to the bumper spot. Brink with a shot, a nice save by Guimond. Excellent use of the bumper there by the Capitals. Henry just got it down into the slot for Kuzma. Kuzma sent to that far side for Brink, a one-timer just 7 seconds in to the man advantage. 0 for 2 on the power play tonight are the Caps. Face shot on that far side. Brink, Kuzma, Brandt, Rossi. Joined up top by Jack Henry. Face-off is won by the Caps. Rossi on the top of the near side looking for a deflection. Got one, but earlier than he was hoping for. Rossi plays it up top now for Henry after getting it back. Rossi on the top of the near side circle. Looking for options here. Gets it, or tries to get it back up top for Henry. A nice job to hold it in by Finn Brink. Far side now for Kuzma. Kuzma now for Henry. Henry, far side for Kuzma. Kuzma gets it to Rozzi on the top of the near side circle. Henry, far side. Kuzma, winds, sends one towards the net. It goes wide. Rozzi keeps possession for the Caps. Tries to force it up top to Henry. A race to it between Henry and a Cedar Rapids Rough Rider player. As I think we'll start to see the change between units 1 and 2 here. As Jack Brandt starts the rush up ice. Felicio hops over the wall. He'll be the only one to get a change. As Kuzma into the offensive zone. Sent down to his feet that time. Slow to get up, but he looks to be all right. Rozzi up top now for Felicio. Felicio with a shot to flex wide. Felicio on the far side looks for options. Kuzma makes his way to the bench as on the near side, Felicio with a short angle shot that time. Out front, Brandt had it in his feet from Rozzi. Bernovic out there with unit number 2. Brink will go for a change. The Caps maintain possession inside the offensive zone. Felicio tried to keep things there for the Caps, but it was poked off of his stick. The rest of unit number 2 will change as Hong now out onto the ice. Hong, down low it goes as Delaney plays it up that far side for a moment, kicking it along as pinned up beneath the goal line. 3 of each side back there. Coming out that time was Rollers. Bernovic on the far side, up top for Felicio. Back for Bernovic on the far side. Bernovic to Felicio up top, 4 to go on the power play. Felicio near side now for Delaney. Delaney rips one towards the net. It's blocked along the way. Cedar Rapids at full strength. Cap still on the prowl. Opportunity sits out front. Rollers tries to slam it home, unsuccessful. 9:19 to go, period number 3. 2-1 our score. As the Capitals lead 2-1, 0 for 3 on the man advantage tonight are the Caps. Face-off will be on the near side as looks like we have an equipment malfunction on Guimond. He hustled over to the bench after the whistle was blown. As looks like he's kind of fixing it himself, at least for the moment. Faceoff will be on the near side to the right of Guimond when it does occur. As the Capitals have their 4th unit out there. The 4th unit, the only one not affected by one of the power play units. As we're going to get an official timeout, which means that the teams can go to their benches, and it means that we can take a commercial break. Caps lead 2-1, 9:19 to go, period number 3. 2-1 our score on Caps Radio. Underway here as a face-off won by the Capitals once again. Michoud up the near side wall, sends it down to the corner as Aiden Long on possession. Long there as Lamb up that far side tried to play it there, no one home for Madison, as the Capitals will have to go all the way back inside their defensive zone. Mazargas there for Madison. Michoud steps down to that side, and we have a 4-on-3 here as Michoud into the offensive zone, has it poked off of his stick, but Aiden Long there to recover. Long towards the net it goes. Guimond will hop on top of it for a whistle. 8:49 to go. Period number 3. 2-1 our score as a face-off in the offensive zone for the Caps. Face-off on the far side. To the left of Guimond. 8:49 to go in the period. Capitals in the lead. Toby plays it on that far side wall. It sits out front for a moment. Long, or rather that's Finn Brink, backhands it. Brink scored the Caps' go-ahead goal earlier this period as it comes out towards neutral ice. Michoud on possession. Michoud looking for options, comes to the near side for Kuzma. Kuzma chips to the near now for Brink as Brink avoids a hit and sends it all the way down. No icing on the play as Brennan kind of just threw himself over the Caps' wall for a moment. Not all the way over, so he didn't get completely embarrassed as it's now the other way. Smith into the offensive zone for the Rough Riders. A shot that's kicked away with the glove by the goaltender Mazargas. Is Kuzma now into the offensive zone by way of Colton Jamieson. Rozzi looking for options. A shot that time hits the glove of Guimond. Fry has no option but to back out, and it's a 2-on-1 coming the other way for Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids with a shot that time, finding the back of the net for the Rough Riders is Ty Paisley. He evens things at 2-2. As the Caps have a defenseman hop up in the rush. And Cedar Rapids takes advantage on the other end. .12:07 into period number 3. We're all square once again. Caps win the draw at center ice. Jack Brandt tries to send it all the way down as the Caps hold just outside the red line as Elias just sends it down that wall, trying to get some space for the Caps. Goes to a Rough Rider player as Cedar Rapids into the offensive zone once again. Fitzgerald, shot, gloved by Mazargas, holds on for a whistle. Mazargas faced 6 shots in his 10 minutes in period number 2. Faced a couple quickly here in the last couple minutes, but we've been talking about it all night. The game's been played on the Capitals' offensive end. The Capitals just need to find a way to execute a bit more. Felicio towards the middle for Hong. Hong to the far side now for Nagel. Nagel back to the middle. Hong deflected it. Brandt had a chance as it goes off the back of the net now as Hong back in the corner digging after it. Comes to the near side. Marchenko looks for options. Is turned over. Hong picks up possession. Isaac Johnson there, but Brandt intercepts his pass. Brandt up top, held in by Elias. Elias avoids the play of Lalonde. Elias now towards the net. Felicio picks up on the near side as it comes all the way through. Felicio pokes it along down the near side wall. On the half wall, he works against 2 Rough Rider players. A second Capital join, that's Max Nagel. He picks up possession. Nagel to Elias. A shot goes wide. Brandt sends one back towards the net. Guimond, I don't know if he knew it was coming. Saw it last second and was able to keep it out of his net. Capital still on the prowl offensively. Lalonde tries to clear for Cedar Rapids as the Capitals able to start back up ice. James Hong back behind the defense. Hong down low. Delaney fresh off the bench. Sends one towards the net. He has 4 Rough Rider players around him there. Bernovic comes in as well. Delaney comes out with a smile. I think Caps fans are going to like the way Chris Delaney plays. He's going to be putting opportunities as well in his 3rd season here in the USHL. First with Madison. One of a couple of players with 100 games played for Madison on the offensive end. Lamb, Kuzma, Rozzi, and Hong join him with those 100 games played. Faceoff is won back by Cedar Rapids. Haven't heard that a ton tonight as the Capitals kind of controlling the faceoff circle to say the least. Up that far side wall comes Cedar Rapids. Losing an edge was Caden Lee, but Cedar Rapids maintains in the offensive zone. Elliott plays it down to Littler in the corner. Littler up that far side wall. Delaney will go play it as there's 2 Rough Riders there trying to get him off the puck. Jack Henry with some nice stick work there to get things moving forward for Madison. Michoud sends it down in deep as Zach Sharp will go and pick up for Cedar Rapids. A shot deflected by Delaney. Bernovic was the one shooting there as it turns back up ice on the stick of Elliott. Elliott into the offensive zone. A shot Mazargas covers and holds on for a whistle. 5:31 to go in period number 3. 2-2 our score. Face-off will come here in the defensive zone in a moment for Madison. Face off on that far side to the right of Mazargas in net. Capitals have had plenty of chances in the offensive zone tonight. Only able to execute on 2 of them. 30 shots in the first 2 periods of the game. Only 1 goal to that point. Long deflects that one out towards neutral. Schiller seems a bit flustered as he plays that one to the far side wall. Caps take over. Schiller almost had 2 turnovers in a span of 5 seconds there as the Capitals enter the offensive zone on the near side. Rice gets things moving back the other way as he'll send it down in deep for the Caps. Groenwald picks up for Cedar Rapids as they're unsuccessful on exiting the zone at first. Their second attempt does get out as we enter the final 5 minutes here of regulation. Toby up that far side wall looking for a couple of options. Long is played with a hand there by Long. Sam Rice is the next to touch it. Faceoff will come at center ice. 4:48 to go, period number 3. 2-2 our score. Face-off at center ice once again, as I mentioned, top unit out there for Madison. For Cedar Rapids, it's a hodgepodge of lines consisting of some of their second and some of their first. Face-off won back by Madison. Brink into the offensive zone. Brink with a chance now. Backdoor feed, unsuccessful, and the Capitals still maintain possession. Elias on the far side plays it down into the corner. There for it, though, is Cedar Rapids. Kuzma takes back over, though. Rozzi back to Kuzma. Up that far side wall, Elias comes down, his shot goes wide. Rozzi picks up on the near side half wall. Rozzi plays down to Fry. Fry on the top of the near side circle, scored the Capitals' first goal earlier in this game. Puck sits in the slot. Cedar Rapids sees it, they pick up, and they'll start back the other way. Intercepted before it gets out of the line, but Connor Smith there to recover for the team wearing Kelly green here this evening in the Rough Riders. Cedar Rapids just inside their own defensive blue. Chips that one out towards neutral, and the Capitals will spin right back up as Kuzma into the offensive zone. Kuzma on the top of the near side as it spun off, and it rings around down low, at least for a moment. It appeared that way, a big hit, and a penalty will be coming up on Jack Brandt. Big hit, Dominic Elliott on the receiving end. Jack Brandt will be heading to the penalty box for how long? Unknown at the moment. 3:40 to go in period number 3. Sure, there's going to be a bit of a discussion here between the officials. Nothing's been put up on the board yet. 2 minutes for boarding. I think the Capitals will take that. Send Cedar Rapids to their second power play of the day. As the Capitals unsuccessful in winning this draw. Under 5 to go in the game here. Regulation, at least I should say. 2-2 our score. Capitals are forcing Cedar Rapids to play back inside their own defensive end, but Groenwald comes forward. Near side now for Lee. Lee looks up that near side wall, and it's turned over. The Capitals will come the other way. Lamb has Nagel with him. He tries to get it over to him. It's intercepted along the way, and Cedar Rapids comes back the other way, a 3-on-2, but quickly becomes even numbers until Cedar Rapids has that man advantage take over. Groenwald up top inside the offensive zone. His shot goes just wide. Lee on the near side has it skip over his stick. The Capitals try to get after it. Held in. Looked like the attempted clearance was blocked. Mikan with a shot. Blocked along the way. Sent down towards neutral ice. A quick change is needed by the Capitals as Cedar Rapids comes the other way. Just inside the offensive blue for Cedar Rapids. The Capitals will come the other way. Guimond will be forced to come out of his cage to play this one as Sam Rice puts some pressure on him. Too many men on the ice possibly for Cedar Rapids. Sure enough, it is. 1:08 to go. As it'll be 4-on-4 here for a second. Faceoff will be in the offensive zone for Madison. 52 seconds of 4-on-4 time to follow a minute 08 of a Capitals power play. 2:32 remains in the third. 2-2 our score. An exciting one here at Bob Suiter's Capital Ice Arena. Faceoff is won back by the Caps, but it's so cleanly won back that Jamison has to retreat all the way back inside the defensive zone. Littler tries to play that one. Unsuccessful on playing it as he kind of lost his stick in the process. Does keep the Capitals inside their defensive zone. It's held up there by the Caps. Kuzma plays it up that far side wall as they'll have to spin back before starting the rush moving forward. Littler goes for a change. It allows some ice for Cedar Rapids after the too many men call. As on the far side, Michoud plays down in the corner for Rozzi. Rozzi looks for options here, plays up that far side wall. Michoud comes off the wall. Michoud towards the middle. Kuzma, Rozzi has it sit there, and it goes off the post. They say no goal. They say no goal. Rozzi thinks he had a goal for sure. I thought he did as well. And we got bodies flying everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if another penalty were to come from this. Bodies still on the ice for both sides. Rozzi thought he had one. I thought he had one. Instead, it's still 2-2. 5 seconds left of 4-on-4 time. Doesn't look like any penalties will come from it. Face-off in the offensive zone once again for Madison. Face-off on the near side to the right of Guimond. Capitals will throw out the first half of their power play unit, or one of their power play units. I don't know if this is 1 or 2. Obviously, game 1, it's tough to tell what's 1 and 2. Rollers, Bernovic, and Delaney for Madison. Face-off won back by Cedar Rapids, but a nice job by Rollers to take advantage of it. Tried to get it out to Delaney, and it'll be cleared all the way down by Cedar Rapids. 1:02 of a power play for Madison. A minute and a half to go in the game. Felicio throws on the brakes as the Caps will try to start up. Ice is in the feet of James Hong, at least for a moment. No offside the call, as Hong was the player who jumped over the wall to be that power play number. Took a weird bounce off of a door there as the Capitals don't have to go all the way back. Felicio with speed through neutral ice. Felicio on the near side. Avoids one player with a shot, that time off the blocker. Goes into the corner. Mikan will try to clear. He'll be able to all the way down. 1 minute to go in period number 3 before we could head to overtime here in Madison. As the Capitals try to play up this near side wall. Sharp taken down there by Rollers. He'll send it down though. 12 seconds to go on the Caps power play. 40 in regulation. Felicio has one hard on him, gets it to Delaney on the near side. Bernovic in the middle of the ice has to spin back, but he'll pick up possession and keep moving forward. Far side now for Hong. Back towards Bernovic. Bernovic has it roll off the end of his stick as now up that far side wall. Henry holds. Henry down low looking for options. Centers it, looking for Bernovic, unsuccessful. As the one-on-one coming back the other way. Serving that penalty was number 13, Philip Lalonde for Cedar Rapids. He comes out of the box, and now Cedar Rapids with a chance. A shot goes just off of Mazargas. It looks like we're heading to overtime, folks, in game 1 of preseason play for Madison. 5 minutes of a 3-on-3 to be followed by a shootout if and when we were to get there. 2-2 our score. What a game thus far. Only more coming. We'll send it to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have overtime for you right here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Slam it home. Steele scores! Capitals hockey live here on Caps Radio on YouTube. Thanks for joining us here this evening. 3-on-3 overtime. 5 minutes put up on the board. Capitals throw their three out first as Rudy Guimond and Carlos Mazargas take their nets. Brennan, Smith, and Sharp for Cedar Rapids. As the Capitals will move left to right, Cedar Rapids right to left. As the faceoff is won back, at least for a moment, by the Caps. Instead, it's Smith up that far side playing possession for Cedar Rapids. Of course, in 3-on-3 overtime, possession 99% of the battle. You got possession, it's tough for the other team to score. As up that far side, the pass from Brennan. Near side for Sharp. Sharp into the offensive zone, has Austin Bernovic on him. Of course, kind of man coverage here. Sharp throws on the brakes as deflects up into the glass. No whistle or anything there as Littler off the bench. Littler with a chance. Littler just tries to go over that far side glove side as Delaney lifts his stick, comes all the way down. Mazargas will play it up that far side. The Caps take over on possession. Now Delaney back behind the defense, has Bernovic trailing with him. Gets it to him. Bernovic tries to backhand it. It's taken off, and now a 2-on-1 the other way. Sharp has Silverberg with him. Sharp feeds it over to Silverberg. A nice save by Mazargas. Holds on for a whistle. A minute even into overtime. Face-off will be on the near side to the right of Mazargas in net. Faceoff is won back by Cedar Rapids as it was to the right that time of Mazargas. As down into the corner comes Sutton. Sutton throws on the brakes beneath the goal line as he's guarded there by Rossi. He's up that far side. Mikan now takes over. Nice pin there by Henry as the Capitals try to get possession out of this little scrum. It'd be huge for Madison. Rossi looked like he had a chance at it, and Kuzma will come away with it for Madison. Passed ahead now to Rossi. Rossi backhands it ahead to Kuzma. Kuzma offside are the Caps. Tough break for Madison. As they had numbers, possession, everything going towards their offensive end. Henry jumped up in the play, comes off the ice smiling there. Kind of knew there was nothing he could do about it. Face-off will come just outside the offensive end. It's Brink, Hong, and Felicio for the Caps as Brink makes sure Felicio able to maintain possession of it as he'll start up that far side wall. Felicio has some speed with him but loses possession as he's sent into the wall. Cedar Rapids picks up, and a nice job by Brink to get it back. Hong now on it. He takes it beneath the goal line. Groenwald right in front. Mazargas kind of playing body positioning there on Groenwald as Hong will get off of Groenwald at least for a moment and start up ice. Near side now it comes for Brink. Brink has Hong with him. Brink throws on the brakes. Brink towards the middle. A shot. James Hong wins it in overtime for Madison. What a pretty play. Finn Brink avoids the pressure there from the Cedar Rapids defense. Feeds it back door to James Hong, who slams it home to bring Madison win number 1 in exhibition season. Caps win 3-2. Tough to say anyone's first star of the game more than James Hong in this one as he wins it in overtime for the Caps. Assist on that goal goes to Finn Brink. Also Felicio in on that one as well. 2:10 of the overtime period. Caps win. Goalie of record for the Caps, Carlos Mazargas, picks up the win, allowing 1 goal In just over 30 minutes of play, Rudy Guimond picks up an L, does get a point to his name for Cedar Rapids if this were the regular season, as the Caps come away victorious in the preseason. That'll do it for our coverage here tonight. We might have some coverage for you next week. We don't quite know yet on that one, but we'll have it for you right here on Caps Radio. Caps back here at home on September 29th. Home opener, Dollar Beer Night. Join us for what should be a great night and a great home opener for Madison. Thanks for joining me here this evening. That's been Caps Hockey.